twin flame connection is just consuming your whole life. It's just taking up all your time and energy. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to detach from your twin flame without cutting cords, without running away or denying the connection. This is actually really important because a lot of people get this wrong. And if you do get this wrong, you're going to push them away and potentially give yourself years of heartache. So you're going to discover how to shift your energy so powerfully that the emotional chaos dissolves and you just feel peace. You want to know this. You need to know this because detaching doesn't mean losing them. That's the opposite of what it means. It means actually becoming free, freeing yourself from obsession, anxiety, and the chaos that's been draining your soul. So I'm Kai, and I'm one half of Twin Flame Guides. I went through years of highs and lows with the Twin Flame journey. I felt the crushing silence, the being ghosted, energetic pulling away, and the pain of thinking about them all the time. It wasn't until I learned how to truly detach without any resistance that everything changed. So what does inner detachment have to do with quantum entanglement and soul level healing and twin flames? I will explain all of that in a second, but first you need to understand that most people think that detaching means forgetting about your twin flame, or it means pretending they don't exist, right? Trying to fool yourself, trying to convince yourself that you don't care about them when you really do. That's not what this is about. That only creates more resistance, because the more you push against something energetically, the more you stay locked into its frequency and trapped. This is actually a lesson that I took from a book called Reality Transurfing, which is a very powerful book about manifestation and really just reality mastery. Detachment does not come from force. Okay, so again, the more you push against something, the more you try and resist something, the more you get locked in and trapped into that thing. So real detachment comes from transmutation. Okay, so you don't need to, it's not about cutting the cord. It's not about, cutting them out and forgetting them. It's about alchemizing the cord, transmuting the cord. And so the truth that no one tells you is the pain you feel from your twin flame isn't usually theirs. It's actually your own attachment energy being mirrored back to you. So that intensity, the anxiety and the obsession you feel is often just your body and your nervous system it's reacting to unmet needs that you have anchored or attached to that connection. So the first step to detachment really is to figure out the emotional role your twin flame has been playing in your inner world, in your subconscious. So just ask yourself, what need am I expecting them to meet for me? Is it validation? Is it safety? Is it that you need to feel that you're being chosen? You need to feel that you're enough? Whatever it is, and this might take some time to figure this out, just stick with it and just write it down when you figure it out. Because until you claim that responsibility back, your nervous system will constantly be longing for your twin flame. You'll constantly be obsessed with them. And here's the part that changes everything. Once you identify that need, the emotional need within yourself, and you meet it yourself through what I call energetic self-parenting or reparenting, you actually stop looking at your twin flame to fix those things. You stop looking and relying on them to soothe your wounds and figure these things out for you, and you become the source of that energy yourself. And this changes everything. This makes the whole thing super easy and pain-free. So we'll just do a quick process together. Just close your eyes if you're not already. Place your hand on your heart and just breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 2 seconds and then exhale for 6 seconds. So breathe in for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 2 seconds, and then exhale for 6 seconds. And just say this silently to yourself, either out loud or in your head. I am not abandoning myself. Okay, I am not abandoning myself. And this affirmation just cuts the cord of dependency, because the obsession is never about them. It's never actually about them. That might be surprising to hear. It's about the part of you that doesn't feel whole without them. And you cannot find that wholeness inside or, in them. Wholeness is not found in reunion. You're never going to be happy if you're looking for someone else or something else to make you feel complete. You need to feel complete and happy from within. So it's found in integration. And remember, you're not half of a soul. You are already a whole. You're already complete. And by the way, just comment whole below if you are ready to take your energy back, if you want to confirm and affirm this. Comment I am complete or I am enough, because writing it down really makes it powerful and it really makes it stick. So let's get into the mechanics of detachment, how it actually works. Detachment is not emotional. It's not just emotional. It's energetic, neurological, and it's a little bit complex, but here's what I mean. Every time you think about your twin flame, every time you check their profile, read old messages, or even just obsess about twin flame videos on YouTube, you're activating neural pathways in your brain that strengthen the emotional addiction. So it may surprise you to hear that this connection can actually create a dependency, an addiction. And this is because all of these hormones and neurotransmitters, right? Oxytocin, dopamine, cortisol, your brain actually fuses or wires these into your emotional system. And this is why detaching from your twin flame can actually feel like withdrawal. So, and that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that your nervous system is detoxing in a way. And the way to support this detox is not to deny the connection. It's not to pretend that it's not happening. You just need to redirect the energy into a new frequency that your body can stabilize. So here's what you do. Every time you feel the urge to check on them or obsess over them, double message or triple message them, just take a second to pause. Don't feel any shame, because that just makes things worse. Okay, just bring awareness back into your body. Name the emotion and not the story. So this is a really, really powerful technique. So, for example, I feel sadness in my chest. And so that's what you say. You name the emotion. You do not go with the story. So the story is, I miss him, or why doesn't she care about me? Why is she, not messaging me back? Why am I being ignored? Don't name the story. Just name the emotion. Just name the emotion, which is, I feel sadness, and then wherever it is, like in my chest, in my stomach, in my body. Because this brings the energy back into your body. And it's only in your body that it can be actually transmuted or metabolized. So take 3 deep breaths and say, I choose to return to myself, and just rewire that loop. Okay, don't get caught up in the mind, in the story of what's going on. Don't start overthinking things. Just bring the emotion back to the body and name the emotion. I feel, sadness in my chest, or wherever it shows up for you. So now we're going to talk about a very specific technique that accelerates detachment, and it's called frequency inversion. So this is where you consciously reverse the emotional polarity attached to your twin flame. Here's how it works. Okay, first, identify the main emotion that comes up when you think of your twin flame. Step 2, ask yourself what would be the opposite frequency of this emotion. And then step 3, anchor into that new frequency using your breath, visualization, and physical posture. So for example, if you feel depressed or desperate, then the inversion, the opposite of that, might be peace. If you feel fear, the inversion is trust. And if you feel not enough, then the inversion is inner worth. Now, of course, I should say that if you feel a positive emotion when you think of them, then don't do this exercise, because then obviously you're going to bring up the opposite of the positive emotions, which is going to make you feel bad for no reason. This is only if you feel, you could say, negative things when you think of your twin flame. If you feel anxiety, sadness, confusion, anger, jealousy, all of these negative emotions, that's when you would use this inversion exercise. And the more you do this, the more your energy field detaches naturally. And by the way, let me know in the comments what frequency you are choosing to anchor in today. So I want to address something that is really important, and this traps a lot of people in the spirit, especially in the spiritual community, and that is bypassing. Or it's happened so often that it's been called spiritual bypassing. So many people would say things like, it's meant to be, it's a soul contract, I just have to wait, it will happen in divine timing. But this is the thing, waiting is not healing. Waiting is not healing. If you wait for things without taking action, without trying, without doing anything, it keeps you stuck in this state of just longing, hoping, and projecting. Detachment means releasing expectation and honoring the connection. It doesn't mean doing nothing. It doesn't mean waiting around. Now, you don't have to delete the memory. You don't have to, forget about your twin flame. You just have to rewire the meaning you've attached to it. Your twin flame may have catalyzed your awakening, but they are not your source. So anytime you see them as a mirror and not your savior, you begin to reclaim your soul. And this is a really beautiful way of saying that you need to start seeing your twin flame as your mirror. They are you. They are not this magical savior that is there to fix all your problems, heal all your wounds, make sure you never have to suffer or have any challenges. That's not what this is about. And if you see them as that, then that's a very good sign that you are, projecting these things onto them. These inner needs that you have, safety, love, being enough, you're projecting them onto your twin flame. So if you start to close that loop, if you stop projecting these things onto them and having all of these things they need to be, reunion becomes very easy. So look, at the quantum level, you and your twin flame are already connected. You're already connected and entangled at the quantum level. Energetically bonded, and this goes beyond space and time. But this doesn't mean you have to suffer. It just means that you need to shift your frequency and the bond recalibrates itself. It's that energetic freedom that allows true twin flame reunion. This knowledge and knowing that you are not separate. Now look, some unions are physical, some are vibrational, but they're all catalysts. When you reunite with your twin flame, it becomes a catalyst. It pushes you into your life mission. But all twin flame reunion becomes easier when you detach from needing them to look a certain way. When you stop needing your twin flame to fill a need inside you. When you stop needing them to make all of your problems go away. Because that's just your mind wanting safety and security and stability. The soul knows that everything's perfect, everything's balanced, and everything is connected and everything is one. So look, here is a very simple structure that you can follow every day if you want to. In the morning, just do 5 minutes of breathing, the heart breathing exercise I took you through earlier, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, and exhale for 6. As you do this, you can say something like, I release all cords of control, I choose to return to myself. In the afternoon, you could do a very short mirror practice. Okay, so look at yourself in the mirror, look into your eyes and say, I choose myself today. No checking their social media, no obsessively watching twin flame content, just being in your body and in yourself. And then in the evening, you could do a short journaling exercise where you write down something you gave yourself today, something that you did for yourself. For example, I went for a nice walk in the forest and I, took in the moment. And then do a short visualization. See your energy field filled with light and standing sovereign and free. So look, let me just recap here. Detachment is not abandoning your twin flame. It's just returning to yourself and learning to recognize where you are trying to use your twin flame to fulfill a need within yourself. And then trying to fill or fix that need on your own without your twin flame. Your twin flame is a separate part of this. You need to return to wholeness. So, you never lost your twin flame. You can never lose them. What you can do is you can temporarily lose your center or your focus. You can temporarily forget these basic truths. So, I hope this makes sense. If you do want to learn more, we did make a big YouTube video explaining all of the best ways you can reunite with your twin flame effortlessly. So if you do want to check that out, the link is in the description. And thanks for watching.